You're welcome to this lesson. Okay, this lesson is specifically designed for individuals who are taking IELTS UKVI General for the UK work visa. All right, so if you are planning to travel to the UK via the work visa route, maybe you want to work as a caregiver, okay, or healthcare assistant or some other um, type of job that require that kind of visa, and you need IELTS UKVI General, then this lesson will be of great benefit to you. A lot of people find it challenging to scale through IELTS reading for that particular visa. Okay, they get scores of maybe 3.0, 2.5, 3.5, and it shouldn't be, because it's actually easy to handle IELTS General and to get the required score. Now let me show you something here. What what how do they arrive at the band scores? This table gives you an idea of how they arrive at the band scores. Okay, if you're after answering 40 questions, they will mark your work. Okay, and if all the correct answers are less than 15, okay, so if you score maybe 13 over 40, if you get a raw score, we call it raw score. Raw score basically refers to maybe 10 over 40, 20 over 40, 30 over 40. Okay, now if you get a raw score of 9 over 40, or 10 over 40, or 11 over 40, your band score will be 3.0. If you get 12 over 40, or 13 over 40, or 14 over 40, your band score will be 3.5. And if you get 15 over 40, or 16 over 40, or 17 over 40, your band score will be what? Your band score will be 4.0. Okay? So they're going to look at your raw scores, and then they will convert it into band scores. So that's how they arrive at the band score. You can see that for somebody to get 9.0, the person has to score 40 over 40. That's IELTS General for you. Whether it's IELTS General or IELTS UKVI General, the score thresholds are the same. Okay, so this is how they arrive at the band scores that they give people. Now, what do you need for your UKVI visa? I mean, for your skilled worker visa, what do you need? Now, this is a snapshot that I took from the British Council website. The requirement is 4.0 overall. You must get a minimum of 4.0 overall, and in each of the four skills. So in IELTS listening, your score must not be lower than 4.0. In IELTS reading, your score must not be lower than 4.0. In IELTS writing, your score must not be lower than 4.0. In IELTS speaking, your score must not be lower than 4.0. The most challenging aspect is reading. A lot of people struggle to get above 4.0 in IELTS reading. And for you to get 4.0, that means you need to get above what? Above 15 over 40. So it's either you get 15 over 40, or 16 over 40, or 17 over 40, or 18 over 40. If you get 19 over 40, that's 4.5. Okay? But then you just need minimum of what? 15 over 40 for you to get what? For you to get the required score. And it's very easy. And I'm going to show you. Now, let me show you the pattern. What is the pattern for the test, for the reading test? There are three sections. How many sections? Three sections. In section one, you're going to have two passages. Okay, you will have one passage and then you have a set of questions. Then you have another passage and then you have a set of questions. So the question types that you will see in section one are matching statement questions, gap filling questions, or true false not given questions. Those are the common question types that show up in section one and section two. All right, matching statement questions, gap filling questions, and what? True false not given questions. Those three question types are the common question types that show up in sections 1 and 2. Now section 3 will have one passage, and then you can have other types of questions. Could be matching heading questions, could be matching sentence endings, could be matching features, could be gap filling questions. There are some tough gap filling questions that show up in passage 3. Okay, where we can also have multiple choice questions. Those will show up in section 3. Okay, but what I tell people is, if you are doing UKVI General for work visa, don't stress yourself about section 3. Spend more time and energy mastering sections 1 and 2, because you have a greater chance of getting the questions, mastering those questions. Okay, you have a greater chance of getting the answers correct in those two sections than in section 3. So focus on those two sections. Okay, so these question types are very common: matching statements, true false not giving, gap filling. They are very common in sections 1 and 2. So if you add up all the questions in sections 1 and 2, you're going to have a total of 27 questions. 27 questions. So these question types will be divided um proportionately, okay, within those two sections. So it's either you have 7 matching statements, 13 true false not giving, and 7 gap filling, or maybe you have 13 matching statements, 7 true false not giving, and then 7 gap filling, or maybe you have 13 gap filling questions and then 7 matching statements and 7 true false. It's going to be in that ratio. One will be more. Okay, maybe true false not given will be more, or gap filling will be more. But my point is that what these 3 question types are the question types that commonly show up 97% of the time. They commonly show up in what? In section 1 and 2 of IELTS General, IELTS Reading General. So the ideal thing is to what? Is to master them. Now, look at this is what matching statement looks like. You're going to see something that sounds like this. Look at the following review. Look at the full review. For which app are the following statements true? So my job is to read the passage and look for which app matches with which statement. That's what we are doing in matching statement. You are matching the statement on this list 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 with the appropriate app. That's what we are doing in matching statement. That's what matching statement questions look like. Okay, look at true false not given. You are reading some statement and you are deciding whether the statement aligns with the information in the passage or not. That's true false not given. You'll notice that the passages are shorter compared to IELTS academic. In IELTS academic, the passages are longer and sometimes less interesting. But for IELTS general, the passages are shorter, they are more interesting. So your job is to just read the passage, enjoy the passage, and then answer the questions. Okay? Look at gap filling questions. You are reading the passage and then you are using specific words from the passage to fill the gaps. To fill the gaps. Okay? So those 3 question types, matching statements, true false not given, and gap filling questions, are questions that you need to what? You need to master. Make them your priority number 1. Okay, what do I mean? Study them. Go and get Cambridge IELTS General 11, Cambridge IELTS General 12, Cambridge IELTS General 13, Cambridge IELTS General 14, Cambridge IELTS General 15, Cambridge IELTS General 16, and Cambridge IELTS General 17. And just focus on the section 1 and section 2 questions in IELTS reading in all those textbooks that I just mentioned now. Focus on section 1 and section 2 questions. Section 1 and section 2 questions. Section 1 and section 2 questions. 80% of your time and practice should be focused on those question types. The remaining 20% should be focused on section 3. All right. So you don't want to waste too much time on section 3 because those ones can be a little bit challenging, more challenging than sections 1 and 2. All right. So invest more time and effort in these question types and improve your ability to what? To undo them. And if you will do that, your chances of getting your band score of 4.0 will be increased significantly. I hope you get my point. So that is what I want to explain to you in this lesson. Thank you.